Yo, what is up guys? It is Josh with the Preset Bros, and today I'm going to show you how to make the classic selected style bass for any of your house tracks right here. Alrighty guys, so that was the sound, and the inspiration for this was the Selected label. Go on any of their playlists on Spotify, listen, they all have these really nice basses that are just fat, sit really well in the mix, kind of dusty, analog sounding, and that was what I was wanting to achieve here with this song. So let's go ahead and dive into the preset. Subscribe if you guys want to. So this is the sound right here. So just a nice bass. Now you do notice that I have the top air here, and that is just literally some white noise. Just to kind of sit on top of there. You can achieve this in the noise oscillator in your sound, but I was actually using it for a kick. So let's go ahead and jump into the sound right here. So this is the sound, guys. Bass Aspective 2.0, and I actually labeled that from inspiration of New Aspect. Anyways, but okay, so this is the sound, guys. So oscillator A, I got the basic shapes, and I went with the square wave here, -2 on the octave. That's pretty much all that's going on. I have the level at the normal volume, 75%. For oscillator B, I have basic shapes as well, with another variation of the square wave. The wavetable position is at number 5, and I do have 6 voices of unison on this one, and I have the detune pulled back to 0.05. I'm actually not using this FM from A, so just ignore that. I did pull the volume back to 49%, and that's pretty much it right here, guys. Also, guys, like I mentioned before, I am using the noise section right here for the Kick Attack 12. Make sure it's on the one-shot setting here, and put your volume up to 90%. Makes a huge difference. I'm going to go ahead and solo it without the noise. And with. It just adds that little click that kind of rides right on top of the bass, just kind of making it a little more percussive. And so, yeah, that's how you're going to dial that in. Make sure it's on direct out as well, so that way it bypasses any filters or effects or anything like that. Next, guys, I am sending oscillator A and B into the filter over here, the MG Low 24. I have my cutoff at 15 Hertz, and everything else is pretty normal. I pulled my res down to 0. Make sure you check that A and B, and let's move over to shaping the sound. So for envelope 1, I have the decay at 573 milliseconds, sustain all the way up, and then I just gave it a little bit of release at 685 milliseconds. Next, for envelope 2, I have the decay pulled down to 492 milliseconds, the sustain at 77%, and then I gave it a little release of 719 milliseconds. Now, if you notice, I am modulating the cutoff knob here. I'm actually modulating it by 54, and you'll notice there's 2 things I'm doing, and the other one is actually in the effects, so check that mono button and let's head to the effects. So effect numero uno, I have the hyperdimension, and I just have 6% on the size here and 25% on the mix. Next, I went ahead and went with some distortion, the hard clipper, the drive at 81%, and the mix all the way down because I'm actually modulating it over here, and if you want to make it a little more gritty, you can tweak that knob. So honestly, we're just going to move that out of the way. So next, I do have a little bit of compression, just the normal setting. I gave it a little bit of a gain boost at 7 dB, and that is it. Next, I further shaped the sound with the EQ, and I'm just reducing a 5 dB at 113 Hertz right there, and that is it, just to kind of balance out the sound just a little more. Next, I have another filter, and this is actually the second thing that we're modulating that I mentioned before with envelope 2, and I'm just modulating the cutoff knob by 56. I have the cutoff at 14 Hertz, so really similar to the first filter that I was using. Now, the reason I actually have 2 filters is because when I do have that distortion on there and I start to turn this knob up, you can hear it starts to get really gritty. So if I didn't have a filter and I had distortion, so if I wanted the distortion there, that's great, but I'm going to have to add another filter because it added a bunch of harmonic frequencies. So now adding that second filter, it just kind of tightens that sound up right away. And I also noticed that even without the distortion, this is without the filter and with. So it just kind of further shapes that sound, hones in on the frequencies that I want coming out of the synth, and that's pretty much it. You can also give it a pretty gnarly drive boost here of 48%. Next, I finished the sound with a little bit of reverb, and I was just kind of wanting to give it a little bit of presence and space on the top end, and it's probably really not doing much, but it makes me feel better that it's there. So up to you if you want to add that in as well. And guys, that is the sound. Super simple. Before we go, I do want to show you this top air sound really quick. Super simple patch. Yeah, so literally just a bright white noise right here, one shot setting, the level's at 64%. I'm rolling off some of those highs right there with the cutoff around 4800 hertz, and then I shaped it with envelope 1. I added a few effects right here, and that's it, just to kind of give that nice top air feel. I'm gonna go ahead and play the basses together, or this bass and the top air. This is without the top air, and with. I just noticed adding that extra little click up there with the attack kick, and then also the top air just kind of interacts really well with the kick and my drums. So I'm going to play that with the drums and you can hear it. And without the top air. It just sounds a little more kind of, I don't know, boring or whatnot. So that's a cool trick you can do your basses, something I noticed with a lot of the selected style basses. So anyways, guys, that wraps up the sound for today. I'm not going to waste your time, but if you guys want to, there is a whole free Serum preset pack for you guys down below in the description. Just kind of a little bit of all of our packs, just a multi-genre, something to get your toes wet, jump in your DAW, start creating some presets on the house. You're welcome. And so if you want to check that out, head to our website. And also, if you want to join our subscription email, then we will be sending out a free preset every week. So not only are you getting this awesome free Serum preset pack, but by subscribing to our emailing list, you are also getting a free preset every single week. So definitely check that out if you guys want to. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always,